Okay, y'all ready for another one of those stories about the end of everything? Resistance is futile. If you're a Star Trek fan, hearing those words probably immediately triggers one thought. The Borg. The Borg is the ultimate nightmare. Humanity enslaved by a computer. Luckily, it is only fiction. Or is it? In Star Trek, they come in a cube. A huge spaceship it is, filled with millions of people. Well, they're not really people. They are the Borg. The people in the cube have no free will, no mind of their own. They are all one. They're plugged into a mainframe computer called the Borg. They're cyber slaves, poor little creatures. But that's all science fiction, right? Not so. In fact, as we speak, the Borg is lurking just around the corner, waiting for its chance. It won't come in a cube from outer space, though, but from the very place you're on right now, the Internet. And it comes, and if it comes, resistance will indeed be futile. The signs are disturbing. Let's do a little experiment. Please find out what a parishtaka. Okay, all your readers probably followed the exact same routine. You opened Google and you entered Aparishtaka. All of you will have found the exact same results. You will have visited the same websites, have absorbed the same information, and for a very brief and fleeting moment, you were one. Silly example, you snort. Hold on, that was just a little warm-up. The real stuff is yet to come. Brace yourself for what you are about to hear. You could change the way you see your humble computer and the Internet forever. 1. We are being cyborged. Already there are many experiments with simple implants being inserted into people's brains. Most of them are for our health. The implants bring back some sort of hearing or eyesight or cure you from terrible conditions like depression or extreme phobias. But some implants have a more luxurious function. They connect to your brain in order to make you move your artificial limb, if you happen to be missing one. Or they may make you control the cursor on your computer by mind control if you're paralyzed. Most experts agree that's just the beginning. Eventually we'll see more and more implants. Need to learn Greek? Or just have a cyber doctor plug in a tiny chip into your brain, much like a memory stick. Want better eyesight? Well, the doc will just upgrade your vision cortex a bit, vision 2.2, and so on, and so on. Of course, these are exciting good things, but there's a downside. Computer hardware isn't going to be the only thing that's entering your brain. Along with it, the web enters your mind. 2. We are being assimilated. In small, high-tech countries like Singapore and the Netherlands, the Internet is everywhere. You go, and everywhere you look already. Gaming, shopping, dating, emailing, working, reading about the end of the world. Watching a video about the end of the world. It's all done over the Internet. The web is still on the rise. Not only is there ever more home computers, but as we speak, it is entering our TV sets. It's already taken over our stereo systems. It is conquering all our laptops, our cell phones. It is sneaking into your car computers and household machinery. In fact, the Internet is about to incorporate every device we associated with communication. It is only likely the last device will be us. Of course, the computers implanted in our brains will be connected to the Internet. The advantages are just too big not to let it happen. We will have Internet in our ears and Internet in our eyes. Literally, our brains will be permanently online. So, think of Aparishtaka, and instantly you'll know that is just another word for yes, that. You think you're Annie in Timbuktu, and your Annie thinks back at you, setting up a telepathic chat session, brain to brain. You think of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and his photograph will instantly pop up in your mind's eye. It is sent straight to your visual cortex, where it is translated into an image for your brain. You can hear Jean-Luc's voice saying, "Make it so," if you like, or think up information about the actor playing John Luke and what movies he's in. Convenient. That's pretty difficult to imagine, don't you think? Well, it gets a bit weirder. With your brain online, you will no longer be exclusively yours. You, in a way, will become more of a local cache for the internet. Your brain will become the internet's work memory, and that's where things turn, well, kind of nasty. 3. You are being Borged. So here you are, you got this computer plugged into your brain, your mind's online all the time. You're one smart cyborg, and that's what you are. But what is online is vulnerable. Someone could actually hack into your head. Some evil genius could virus your mind or spyware your thoughts. We could agree on one thing. That would be, well, a little bit more confusing. Probably the biggest danger are viruses that build themselves. Already there are many experiments with software that becomes smarter, software that evolves by constantly improving itself. With every inhabitant of the planet online, such a virus will have at its disposal plenty of calculating power. It is speculative, but perhaps you could call a virus like this alive. Perhaps you could say it has a will of its own. You might even call it the Borg. So just picture it. One moment you're doing fine, then suddenly you lose control. In the mild case, you'll start having weird, uncontrollable hallucinations. You'll hear some internal voice telling you that resistance is futile, or you'll experience some reality that isn't really there. You'll go insane. In the more extreme cases, you'll suddenly find that your body is no longer under your control. Somebody or something is controlling you. You have become a puppet. You have become a prisoner, locked up in your own body. The Borg might order you to do all kinds of things. For starters, to eliminate everyone who isn't assimilated yet. Against your will, the Borg will force you to hunt down everybody who hasn't got an internal brain computer. You'll be forced to operate on them and turn them into cyborgs too. So there you are. Suddenly you find yourself operating on somebody's brain without neither your nor the patient's consent. Perhaps the Borg will even order you to build a cube-shaped spaceship and go out in search of more life forms to assimilate. To the Borg, more slaves means more calculating power. So, to Borg or not to Borg? Perhaps you shrug your shoulders. Really? How bad can it be? People being assimilated by the internet? Come on, that's just too much. Then again, maybe it isn't. Remember, the internet as a mass medium is only 10 to 15 years old. That's less than 0.001% of the time our species is around on this planet. Already, computers and the internet have totally reshaped our world. And we can be sure of one thing. It will not stop there. Of course, the internet, as it is now, has little to do with Borgs, cube-shaped computer spaceships. It is as dead as a doornail. It doesn't want anything. The web is still just a bunch of bits and bytes, sitting passively on hard disks around the world. But the self-learning software we mentioned before could change all that. Say we make a self-learning piece of software that has one assignment: find a cure for cancer. Actually, software like this is already around. It is software that automatically checks certain molecules to see if their shapes is suitable for curing cancer. Okay, now this software gets smarter. It could find new, creative ways to do its task. Like, hey, let's enslave all these silly little humans. Let's force them to build a giant cube, go into space, and look for a cure for cancer. Well, that'd be so dumb. Still, there's one small straw of hope to cling on to. Nobody can foresee the future. The Borg problem seems realistic, but so do other scenarios. Perhaps we will be able to erect some kind of advanced firewall between our computers and the thing we call our mind. Perhaps we'll be able to see the Borg coming and manage to stop it in time. And if we don't, there's always this. Perhaps going in a cube and monotonously saying, resistance is futile, to everyone we meet will turn out a funny thing to do after all. We will see all the comers of the galaxy, scare the shit out of everybody we encounter, and know what Parishtaka means, and maybe find a cure for cancer. Really, I guess being the Borg isn't all that bad.
We are Borg. You will be assimilated.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile. Your life, as it has been, is over. From this time forward, you will service us.
You will be assimilated.
Resistance is futile.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.